You have to.
Thanks. Okay, now we're live. Hello, welcome to Racism Unfiltered live, because we're actually live now. This is Michelle, and I am Kim, and we're going live today, Sunday. We're going to do it each Sunday at 4 Eastern. This is an informal space where we want to read your comments, answer questions, and have real, honest conversation. We do short rants, and we will interact with viewers who want to say hi and talk about whatever is on your mind, as long as it connects to anti-racism, bigotry, inequality, and corruption, and protecting our democratic republic in the United States. We are happy to talk about it. The one thing we don't do is we don't debate our fellow humans' civil and human rights, because they are not ours to debate. But other than that, if we don't have anybody watching or answering questions or saying hi, we'll just blab and blab and blab. And I just lost my total feed, so I'll try to get it back. Let me see. Boop. Boy, I'm having some kind of day today. So welcome. We have, oh, cool. Hello, everyone. Liabilities, thank you so much for coming on.
That's me.
That's you. I know. I'm like, wow, we have one person. I'm like, how did you do that? How did you do that? I get that. I'm like, wait, how? Oh, you just said hello to everyone. Hello, I'm getting there. Never mind me. I'm with us. Oh my God. My head is spinning. So how are you, Michelle?
I am good. I'm good. Happy Sunday to everyone. And thank you for supporting our, try at White Women Talk, right?
Yeah.
I think that there's so much going on. And I think for anti-racist voices, as we strive to be anti-racist, is so important for white women to be having, just these open conversations, because there's a lot to unpack.
Right. And if nothing else, people get to listen to two white women talk about anti-racism, and we somehow live through it every time. And I don't mean that to be funny, but we gotta help people find their voice, white people. We can't just keep laying this on Black, brown, indigenous people all the time. It's what we've done historically, and it's way past time that white folks, and particularly white women, start getting involved, finding our voices, educating ourselves, and speaking truth to power and what's right. So that's what all about. And again, today's show is, if you're here, just say hello. We'll talk about any topics that are on subject. And just a quick background, this channel was an old channel of mine that I used, and I did Angry Soccer Mom persona, and which is kind of me. And about 3 years ago, I got booted. I got my butt booted off with no recourse, no reason, no anything. They booted me off because of my subject matter. So I got kicked out of the algorithms. So all my videos went to getting lots and lots of views to getting pretty much maybe one or two. So Michelle and I decided to try to revive it and bring it back. So with your help, we would love it if you're watching, or if you're watching the reruns of this, please subscribe, share, watch videos, and tell us what you think, because we want to know what you think, because that's what this is about. So do you want to tell for a minute about what you do each Sunday, sometimes before we come?
Oh, yeah. So one of the, this is such a just a tumultuous time, that there's so much coming at us, and I know so many of us just want to know what we can do, what can we do, right? And here, Kim and I just coming up with an idea to come on and just talk about what's happening in our lives, how we see the world, which is so important to have conversations and dialogue. And so one of the other things that I participate in every week is a standout over a major highway in Massachusetts. So I had made like these amazing poster boards. I just went to Dollar Tree. They were like $1.50, the hard white ones, and then just painted. I had like resist fascism, ice out, boycott now, like all kinds of signs, all kinds of letters. And so we were going over the highway and putting up all the signs. There was holes in each of the boards, and then we were using zip ties to hang them, and then we were all waving to the thousands of people that drove by. And then the police came because there was someone not happy with us doing that. And I guess there's a law in Massachusetts that you can't adhere anything to the bridge. So I interpret that as you can't adhere anything to the bridge and then walk away. But I guess the police are saying you can't adhere anything to the bridge and stand there. So then we had to do plan B. So went to Ocean State Job Lot and got some 5x7 tarps and some white duct tape. And so now duct taped the letters on the front of the tarp. And with the wind, it sucks the tarp to the bridge. So you don't even have to hold it up. So today we had no war and ice out on 2 tarps, and we got hundreds and hundreds of beeps and waves, and flipped off every once in a while. We got flipped off.
You're out there in the snow. You're out there in the snow, and I am.
The weather. It's cold. Wonderful. We're standing in the snow, and we live in a very small town, and so to be able to stand out on the highway for an hour and a half, and get a couple thousand cars driving by you to get some messages, again, I'm sure there's people out there say it does nothing, and then other people say no, maybe it does something, maybe you get somebody's attention. At the end of the day, I feel like we have to do everything we can to get people's attention to wake up, because we are in a very, 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 very dangerous time right now, and I don't think a lot of people realize it. I just had 6 or 7 girls from high school that I've been friends with for 50 years and over 50 years. And, they're like, oh, let's go away. Let's do a girls, long weekend in September, and let's go down to Texas. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I want to be away from my family right now. Like, I am not going to make plans to fly away and be in another state, especially Texas, in September, when we could potentially be going to war tomorrow. So it doesn't feel safe. It really doesn't. And I don't think any of these ladies are thinking any of this. Yeah, I get the feeling you're 100% right. Like I always say, Michelle, it's not the people on the extremes who are, pressing their sheets for their clan meeting. It's certainly not the people who are trying their best to learn all this. It's everyone else in the middle doing absolutely nothing. And thinking being nice to everybody is going to cut it. But this is a system. This is authoritarianism. This is the twilight of our freaking democracy. Being nice to everybody is not going to dismantle a system, a powerful system. We're going to have to do more. And that's educate ourselves, find our voice, and start speaking truth to power. And white folks, this show's for you, because we're not pulling our weight. We're not even close to pulling our weight. So I love what you're doing. I love that you get out there. Yeah, no, absolutely. It was only me and one other woman, but we did it. We did it, and a lot of people were getting ready to have a big storm up here in Massachusetts. So, again, people are busy. We get it. And at the same time, I feel like if you can, do whatever you can. Do whatever you can. Make your calls, send your emails, share posts. Yeah. Call the hotline. There's a hotline, and you can get to your senators. You can get to your House representatives. You can get to anyone you want. They walk you through it. There's even scripts. You don't even have to be like outgoing or gregarious. You just need to care enough to make a call, and they will pick up. And if nothing else, you'll get to talk to their answering machine. And if you fill up their answer machine, that gets a little annoying. They don't like it. And when they get annoyed, they start paying attention, because these people are supposed to represent us. And right now, they really are not being. No. It's not. They can't don't. Have 2 of them doing it. We need them all doing it. And no, I was just looking at. There was a statistic that was talking about the upcoming, House is like 450, 460 representatives, from the House that are up for re-election. and there's only 18 of them that are actually, contested. The rest of them, they know they're going to win, so they don't really have to care. They really don't.
They do not have to care, and it's out of control. They're supposed to be working for the people. Remember that whole "of the people, for the people," by that whole thing? That's supposed to be happening. So today, we're just right now we're just talking about women who I've run into a bunch of women who they're not bad people. They're just people who say, well, I don't really follow politics. But see, what folks don't understand is this is not politics. This is human civil rights. Okay, that's something everyone kind of needs to be following. Our freedom's not free. And what I mean by that is the people who came before us had to work very hard to get every single little bit of these freedoms that we seem to be taking for granted. And we think our Constitution is going to uphold everything. Well, we have an administration right now that is very, very good, for lack of a better word, at circumventing the Constitution and getting away with things and that are really, really not good for any of us. So,
well, and look what happened over the weekend with the Supreme Court saying that his tariffs are unconstitutional. Six, Supreme Court justices voted against him, and he's like, nope, they're wrong. There's nothing in that. I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm upping the tariffs from 10% to 15%. Right. It's like, yes, we have a constitution. This is what we're supposed to do. These are the rules. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. There's no rules apply to him. This is the Epstein class. This is this is a group of people, and it is a group of people that are truly ruining our democracy and don't care.
They're above the law. And for the most part, they kind of are.
They are.
They kind of are above the law. So
we hold them accountable.
Yeah. And I definitely posted a lot this week about people saying, oh, we've never, ever been this divided. Oh, it's like, oh my God, yes, we have. We have so been this divided. It's white people have never been this divided. White people. But we, as a collective, oh, hell yes, we've been, let's name every time we've been more divided. But you see, now white people are being impacted. And it's about effing time that we start paying attention. So Michelle and I really, really want to, be models for talking about systemic racism and inequalities and all these subject matters, because we're white women and we're not happy about this. This is devastating.
No, it does not align with our values. It does not align with what we believe, our morals, none of it. Absolutely none of it.
No. And we're not afraid to talk about, I would rather hear the ugly, horrific truth than bullshitting lies. I don't care if the lies are hard to hear.
So sick of the lies. Everything is a lie.
Yep, I'm sick of it too. So, do you want to add anything else before I go on to?
I put a couple of things in the chat just to remind people that the next No Kings march is a rally protest is March 28th. So please go on Indivisible website, No Kings, Working Family Party. There's a bunch of, people that are organizing Women's March for the No Kings. And so definitely plan for March 28th. Either go to one that's in your neighborhood or around, or start one. Okay. Yep. I am co-hosting mine in my town. All you have to do is fill out the email. Say you want to host, find a spot in your community. Usually everybody has a town hall or a town green. It's freedom of speech. You don't have to ask for permission. You don't need to have any permits. You don't even have any of that. If there's a public green or a public space, as long as you're not standing in the streets, if you're on the sidewalks, you can set up wherever you want. You can courtesy tell the police that you're going to be there for a couple hours on March 28th. But again, you don't need a permit. You don't need to do any of that. Just go on the website and sign up and start your own. I'm doing it with another woman.
Or somebody else is already established. I mean, that's what I always end up doing.
Join.
Go
Yeah,
online
but
and
if there
find it.
isn't one near you, people need to have one within 10 or 15 miles. We had over 500 people last time in October because there wasn't one, in about 20, 25 miles. So we were getting
Very nice.
people from Connecticut, yeah, a couple of people from Rhode Island, so that were driving over to the border into Massachusetts. So
That's very nice.
definitely. So there's that. And then also I put in a website for working family parties. It's weactnow.com. So weactnow.com. They put out a new website, Kim, as you were talking about before, that a lot of times they have scripts and tell you what to say, how to call. This website has all that. And so you basically just pick what topic that you're interested in, you click on it, and then it tells you what to say, and then you hit the button and it dials Congress. Now you can call any 24/7, so it doesn't have to be like during the day, because you're only going to leave a message anyway. But it'll tell you exactly what to say, leave a message. It does make a difference. It really does.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people like it doesn't, but it does.
No, it makes a difference because first of all, I mean, not to be pragmatic about it, it ties up the line. And if nothing else, if you tie up the line, they start paying attention. And I mean, this is what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to speak up.
This is we the people. If we believe it's a republic, a democratic republic, and we are supposed to, dictate what's going on instead of a dictator.
Yeah, it does make a difference. I promise. And if you don't have to be, if you're shy, like I used to be, it tells you what to say. It's good. It can even tell you what to say, or you can say whatever you want. Anything else up there? I didn't get to look right. Or is that?
No, those was the only two.
Very nice. Oh my goodness. Well, today the only thing I have planned is a little rant that I have.
Okay.
And I'd like to talk about a few other things if possible and get Michelle's take on this. But my rant today is about, well, things are just getting so chaotic, and it's very purposeful because there's just so much going on. It's hard to focus in on anything. But today's rant is about how our culture became completely indoctrinated with money and status, to the point where we have drowned out and these allegations involving the exploitation of young girls and what I'm calling the Trumpstein files. So my rant is not about the files. My rant is about how the hell we got here, because that really matters. So let me start. And I've been thinking about this for a very long time. We need to stop pretending America has the gold standard when it comes to women's rights, because we're not the gold standard. We're not even close. We throw away thousands of rape kits while serial rapists walk free so they can rape other women. We tell women, oh, you got to report what happens. And we tell them, endure the procedure in the exam. And we promise justice. Then we let the rape kits sit in warehouses for years because clearing the backlog isn't a priority. You see, most sexual assaults never get reported. And on campuses, 1 in 5 women, young women on campuses, will be sexually assaulted. Most perpetrators, they're not convicted. Black women are far more likely to die in childbirth. Okay, in the United States, their babies are more likely to die before their first birthday, regardless of income or education. Bodily autonomy has been stripped away in many states, and even for rape cases and life-threatening pregnancy. And we're talking about the hard stuff here. We claim to be this land of liberty and justice for women, too. Yet multiple states have banned abortions, carrying criminal penalties for doctors. And Texas created a bounty-style system that rewards private citizens for turning over people who are trying to get abortion acts. That's not freedom. That's control. And let's talk about power for a minute. So we wonder, how did these Trumpstein files and all this cover-up, how did this all happen? Gosh, how did we let this happen? Well, this is how we let it happen. A former president was found liable in court for sexually assaulting a woman in a dressing room, E. Jean Carroll. He was caught up in a tape talking about how he grabs people by the you-know-what. More than 20 women accused him of sexual misconduct. And do we believe the women? No. We debate them. In the Trumpstein scandal cover-up, only one person has been sentenced, and that's Ghislaine Maxwell, and she's got a cushy little prison with a puppy. And these powerful men who've done this over years and years and years, they're pretty much untouched. We currently have a bill that was passed by the House called the SAVE Act that could create document barriers that disproportionately impact millions of married women who might have changed their names when they got married. I mean, we have most rapists never see prison time. Marital rape wasn't illegal in all 50 states until 1993. And enforcement is still uneven. We still say liberty and justice for all. In some states, rapists are allowed to share custody with their child. Okay, the rapist shares custody with the mother after they serve their time. It's still legal in some states in the United States for judges to allow parents to force girls who have been raped by adults to marry them, marry their rapist. Yes, you heard me correctly. And yet we still say liberty and justice for all. And other nations guaranteeing maternity leave, national child care, constitutional equality. We don't even have the equal amendment fully recognized for women. And this isn't anti-American what I'm talking about. It's pro-truth. Until women have equal protection, equal safety, and autonomy. No wonder Americans believe we're covering up something with this widespread Trumpstein files. Pedophiles networks are protected while young girls who are telling us they were raped are being disbelieved. So that is one of the reasons we set up a culture for this to happen, and we've allowed it. And that's my rant, and that's all I have to say. And somebody was calling me during my rant, so I was like very distracted. I'm like, it's so funny. I used to when I used to do the show, every show somebody would call me during the show and say, "Oh my gosh, I can see you on the show," and they'd start asking me questions. I'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna kill you." I'm gonna fucking kill you. Just kidding. But that cracks me up. I have no idea who's calling me just now. But anyway, so that's my spiel. I'm sticking to it. We set it up.
It is. Again, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, and I think women our age, a lot of us are new to this information. Maybe we found out, in our late 30s or 40s, we experienced things similar to what you're talking about, but thought we were the only ones, or thought that, maybe it was our fault. Maybe we weren't.
I know women who were raped in college. Absolutely. Do you?
Yeah. And I'm sorry, say it again.
I said, I know women who were raped in college, and they blame themselves.
Absolutely. No, I had a situation in college that luckily nothing did happen, but I woke up to 6 men all the way around where I was sleeping. And yeah, so luckily they left. So, it's what's really, really, again, what I think we need to understand, because this can be so overwhelming, but I want people to hear what you just shared. Okay. Understand that this is a patriarchy. Okay. If you're not familiar with that word or not sure what it is, please just Google it, look it up. Okay. But this patriarchy, the male-dominated society, male-centered society, with all of the things that you just shared, the people in power, which are mostly white men, are continuing this domination and oppression of women. And that is why the SAVE Act is happening. Now, I hate to say this, but I actually think Mitch McConnell might stop the SAVE Act from happening, which I'm just shocked that he will not allow it go to a vote. So let's hope he stays alive long enough to make sure that does not happen. They want to put forward the SAVE Act so they can take away women's right to vote. We are the majority of people who do vote, okay? All races of women. And so the SAVE Act is one way they want to take away our vote now. Okay. So all the things that you shared about what and how we've been oppressed, we didn't, white women didn't get the vote till 1920, and black women and indigenous women till the 60s and 70s. So again, we have to understand that this is happening now. This is why Roe versus Wade, they want women to have babies so they will stay out of the workforce. So they will create more white people because they realize the numbers are going down. They want us barefoot and pregnant at home. This is why they're taking away student loans. This is why they're reclassifying majors in school. Most of the majors that we take as women, nursing and other healthcare
Not professional anymore.
Workers, all going to be reclassified. So we don't get into the boardrooms. We don't become CEOs. They just fired 300,000 black women from the federal government. Again,
they're targeting
black women, the most educated and professional women, and they want them gone. They want white women gone. They don't want
our most educated.
That's right. So, all of those things that you share about sexual assault and rape, yes, that is the deep evil of the patriarchy, and is continuing to make sure that we have no rights, that we are not believed, that we are not listened to. It is horrific. It's absolutely horrific, and we can't keep as white women supporting this shit.
That's what I was going to say, Michelle. I wanted to
this.
Right. I wanted to jump in and say, we talk, and I hate to interrupt, I'm so revved up from what you're saying. We say white men, white men, white men. And generally, yes, that's correct. It's not all white men, but it's white men. But
you never have to say that. No one's talking about everybody.
Right. But white women also. White women, and I wrote, I did a write-up on this week. White women, we are absolutely culpable. A lot of the things that have happened.
Yes, we're complicit in this.
We're totally complicit. We marry men who are racist. We date men who are racist. We
and misogynist and sexist.
And we make excuses for them, and we don't stand up for ourselves, and we let our children hear all this shit, and we allow it. If we want equality, we can't sit back and go, oh, poor little us. No, not poor little us. Find your voice. No one's going to do it for us. We, the people, are going to do it. We're certainly not our politicians.
Well, I want to say too that I feel like, if you're a white woman and you're like, well, you know what? I want to stay at home. I don't want to work. I don't care about rights. I don't care about voting. Well, you know what? Have a choice. Have a choice. Be out there and do not uphold these systems just because you don't want those rights. Fight for all of us. Fight for all of us. And even if you don't want these rights, make sure everybody else has them. Because if you change your mind and then you don't fight for them, yes, it should be a choice. It shouldn't just say you want to make that choice. That's fine, but have the choice, not to where you're making all of us have that choice because you don't want to do anything about it because you don't care. Well, you know what? That's what's wrong with a lot of us, with us white women, is why we've never been a collective. We've always been against each other. We've always tried the competitiveness, the hating on each other. It's just so, it's part of our oppressive systems that we fight each other instead of, being sisters, being in more community and more in common with our women than men. And we can't even build a coalition and a collective of women together to support each other.
Right. Now, it's somebody's asking, what did they stumble upon? You stumbled upon real, honest conversation that two white women are having. So join the party. Join the party if you wish. We'll read all comments.
Stumble is right.
You stumbled, yes. And
yes, stumble in.
We talk about anti-racism, bigotry, inequality, and corruption.
And how it's
And
all related and all connected, and how we need to have a voice and speak up, make sure this stuff doesn't stick. We don't want it anymore.
No, we don't want it. And we're gonna talk about it. So he's gonna run. That's okay. That is okay. The only thing we don't talk about here is we don't debate our fellow humans' civil rights and things of that nature. But pretty much everything else is on the table. So this is our live show that goes with the shows that we do on YouTube. And so anyone who's around watching, please say hello, and we can talk about anything you want to talk about. I just did a rant on the culture and how the culture we live in and how we allowed for the Trumpstein files to come about. How did we let this, not details of them, but how exactly, how do we lay the groundwork for that to all be able to happen? Okay, that's cool. Actually, more. Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks for stopping, John.
Most people don't want to talk about this. I understand, but we appreciate it. That's cool when people stop in just to say hello, and they don't know what's going on and they ask, because that's what this is for. We want to say hi to people.
Absolutely.
And
yeah,
stumble in. I wanted to say one thing before we wrap it up, unless somebody watching has something to say. Okay, about this war thing. People are saying like, oh, this war. This possible war in Iran. You can explain more about it. I don't know all the details, but I say, I think it's for one thing and one thing only. Okay, two maybe. I think we are going to war to stop the midterms in some way, shape, or form, and to distract from the Trumpstein files. And I think there's no other reason. And he's just looking all over the place for some chaotic way, every way possible to, the SAVE Act, the general chaos. Dumping the Epstein files, trying to go to war with people. I mean, it's nuts. And I think it's all about him. And the stuff I'm seeing online, oh my God. And I verify every last thing on there. I'm seeing this country drop the fucking ball on the girls that were raped and basically taken as human.
It's not going away. It's not going away.
Not going away.
No, the Epstein class is going to be exposed, and they know it. They know it. Yep. I mean, look what happened with, the former prince, of Windsor. Again, he's arrested. He's arrested. That's going to be investigated. They're going to have to show proof. They're going to have to show evidence. Again, more people are going to fall. It might take a little while, but accountability will happen. And I'm hoping that Elon Musk is arrested and questioned in some way, shape, or form, whatever Europe is able to do. So they know this is going to happen. But the war in Iran is, I'm sure that's how they're getting Trump convinced to go into a war with Iran. One of the reasons, because of the distraction and because he learned that, which actually I heard that it really isn't true. Just because you're at war, you don't have to have an election. That actually is not accurate. So again, I think, to your point, he does not want to have an election in the midterms because he knows that he will lose and be held accountable by Democrats when
whatever it takes.
They for the House.
Whatever it takes.
But I think we have to understand that there's a very larger reason for this war. The state of Israel has been wanting this change in Iran for a long time. 40, 50 years has had their sights on all of that area. And so they, again, with partnership of the United States, has 6 or 7, 8 different countries, and this is the last one that they have not had some type of regime change or war. They tried with Iran last year with the 12-day war to destroy their quote-unquote nuclear capacity, even though, again, there's, I don't want to get into too much of the weeds with it, but I just want people to understand that there's a greater force and a greater reason for this war in Iran, and it can be very, very detrimental to the United States, and there's no benefit to it. Iran does not pose any threat to us whatsoever. There is nothing that we could get out of this war. The only benefits would be to Israel.
Yeah, and distract from Trump, and make people rich who are on, the warmongers rich, and the wealthiest elites more rich, and make sure that, if it gets really bad, the vote doesn't happen, or something's going on with the vote, and anything.
Well, and it can affect our economy. It can affect our economy as the oil prices, since a lot of oil comes through that area of the world in Iran, and they can shut down, the Persian Gulf area. And so our oil prices, gas prices could explode, which is going to put a lot of businesses out of business. It is going to potentially have a very devastating effect on our economy. So, that's what's so hard, is the ripple effect of all of these things. And so, yes, everything that you're saying could be a ripple effect as a result. It could end democracy. We don't have voting. We're at war. There's no benefit to us. Our economy could fail. Our gas prices could go to $7 to $8 a gallon.
A lot of the
there's no good to it. There's nothing good about it.
A lot of the reasons when a president gets war powers, it gives him a lot of extra powers that he wouldn't normally have. And
he takes them anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Half the things he's doing now.
This will allow him to do a lot of things that are extremely detrimental to our, we're in the twilight of our democracy, so it's really scary.
It is.
But it's up to us to do something. Every single person needs to do something.
Yeah. No, again, people just don't have the information that they need. And, you can make up excuses and try to push this off, as not real. But as they say,
we go with the experts.
Find out. Right?
The experts say, "Oh, this is real."
Yeah.
So that's kind of
go listen to some independent news to understand. Go listen to the people that actually know what's happening and what's going on and the reasons.
I have a book. You want to talk about our books for a minute?
Yes, please talk about your book.
Your book and my book. We both happen to have books that are coming out. And my book is called Indoctri-Nation 365, and it was created and written for people who are anxious, new learners, resistant, reluctant. Maybe they were like ignorant. Yeah, sure. Or just, people who just haven't been involved because maybe they're making, they're so busy making ends meet. They're involved in other things. They just haven't had to. They have had the privilege of not having to pay attention, which I get. But my book is for them. My book is all about history, the history that we were never taught, the history that we were purposefully, knowingly kept from. And once you learn about that, it's not about shame. It's not about making people feel bad. It's about accountability and taking what we want. We want to have a democratic republic, and it has to be by the people. And a lot of the people, especially those that are smack in the middle, like I was saying before, not the Klans members who are, ironing up their sheets, and it's not the people who are already learning. It's those in the middle who think being nice to everybody is enough. That's what my book is for. It's for those people who maybe they don't know somebody to talk to. They don't know how to start. They don't know what to do. Well, my book is for you. And it walks you through everything and holds your hand. It is not apologetic, but it's also not totally rude, as far as I know. And it'll be history you have never heard of in your life.
It's hard to hear. Some of it might be hard to hear, but the way that you share it is amazing for people to understand. And again, just to have people to think a little differently. Maybe have some extra information to make things make a little bit more sense.
That's what it is.
Because sometimes when you don't know what you don't know, things don't make sense. Or you try to make sense of it with the information that you have, which
Right.
actually isn't rooted in the truth.
Well, part of it, Michelle, are excellent points. Part of it is that we think we know our real history from school. We know who Martin Luther King is. We know who, these people are. We've heard of them. We have, 1 month out of the year where we have Black History Month. So we think we know, but unfortunately, we don't.
Right.
We don't know. We don't.
Right.
We haven't been taught 99% of it. So that's what my book is, hopefully to fill in.
Yay! I can't wait for Indoctri-Nation 365. It's going to be amazing.
Malik says, more power to you ladies for speaking your mind and the truth. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Absolutely.
Want people to see two white women who are talking about anti-racism. And
we're not leaving America. We are going to fight for the democracy that we want. We're not going to just pick up and leave like wallflowers. I can't stand the heat in the kitchen, so I'm just going to leave. No, we're not going to do that. My grandfather fought in World War II against fascists, and there's no way in hell I am not going to fight just like he did and make sure that these fascists do not win. I have children. You have children. I want my grandchildren and children to have an America rooted in democracy, we the people, and rights and morals, where everyone is treated with respect, that we actually have a community of love and peace. That is what I want. Is that what you want?
Michelle,
yes, 100%.
That is absolutely what I want. And I imagine it. I don't want my neighbor to die of a curable disease because he couldn't afford $1 for penicillin.
Absolutely
I don't
not.
want my Black friend to have to walk down the street and have women cross, white women. Oh, there's a Black man. I don't want that. That's sick. That's messed up. I don't want any of this stuff. I don't want the little Black boy right now who was raised in an area that's redlined. So the infrastructure in his school, they don't even have books and they don't even have desks. And he's going to be my cardiac surgeon someday. And I want him to get a damn good education. I want people to meet their I want them to have the American dream. Hey, not just the wealthiest people, not just the people who, trample over everybody and end up making it, so to speak. I want everybody to have equity and justice.
And we can't do that with billionaires. We can't afford billionaires because the billionaires are taking everything. They are hoarding everything, and that is why we don't have health care. That is why we can't feed children. That is why we're getting rid of vaccines. That is why our taxes keep going up. That's why our food prices are going up, because they are hoarding everything from us. We are paying so many millions and billions of dollars for these fake wars that don't need to happen, that are not going to benefit this country.
Make money for the wealthy.
There is nothing happening right now that is benefiting the American people. I can't name one. Can you?
That's a toughie. It's a toughie. The wealthiest people. Yeah, sure. Okay, yay, the stock market. Wahoo.
Yeah.
That's the wealthiest people. That's
right.
Not everybody. That's not. We don't have universal. I don't want to get into it, but we don't have universal health care. We don't have freaking universal health. There are nations that are developing nations that have universal health care. For the love of God, there is no reason we shouldn't have. You shouldn't have to. I'm so tired of this culture of, if you're poor, it's your fault. What kind of crap is that? But anyway, that's a whole nother subject.
That's the whole narrative. That's the whole narrative. Because if you believe that they're, if they just did better, if they just, tried harder, then it just leaves you out of the problem. You don't have to deal with it. It's someone else's problem. No, you got to look at it as a system that's been set up by your government. Policies that have been put in place that have created these inequalities. And billionaires have written the rules. Billionaires have paid the politicians. Billionaires own our government. They are taking over. Why do you think everything works for them? And
Citizens
nothing works for us.
Citizens United. All the stuff you're talking about is in my book. The system.
Yay. Indoctri-Nation 65. I can't wait till it comes out. When is it going to come out?
It is going to come up it's going to come out really soon. I just got the formatting back, and the publisher just sent me a whole bunch of cool pictures of
The book cover is great.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it, and I'm getting my my website is going to go live this week, and I will be putting it to everybody. And if you're watching right now, before we end, I want us to talk about your book, because your book is amazing.
No, you don't have to, because we can. No, I want to leave it on your book. Your website is Indoctri-Nation365.com.
Yeah, Indoctri-Nation365. And that's going to be the website. It's going to be live by the end of the week. And next time, promise we talk about your book. And if you're watching right now, please support. We're trying to revamp this YouTube channel. It used to be Angry Soccer Mom. Then I got booted off because of my subject matter, with no recourse, no warning, nothing I could do.
Because of today.
Me crying, I might be, yeah. And 3 years later, I met Michelle, and she's willing to try to revamp it. And
sorry, my son is behind me.
That's okay. He's ducking down. My hope is that we will get back in the algorithms with your help, by people subscribing, watching, sharing, and commenting. And we will comment back, because we want to get, you don't really make money on this at this level exactly, but what you do is you get back in the algorithms so that people can see your videos. So
that's what we want.
Yeah.
All right, Kim. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you, everyone.
Great. We'll be back next Sunday at 4 to talk about.
All right. Can't wait. Stay safe in the snow.
Yes.
Take care.
Keep
Thanks,
resisting.
Kim.
Keep resisting.